For Banned Book Week, I chose to read The Giver by Lois Lowry. It's about a boy named Jonas who is in a utopian society that takes away love and sex and music and color from the society to make it perfect, and no one is allowed to feel emotions. And so all of the memories from the past and all the emotions are given to this man called the receiver. And when turns 12 years old, he is told that he will be the next receiver, so he must go into training. It's a wonderful book that really shouldn't have any issues. It's been said that there's some mature themes in it, such as sexuality, suicide, and lethal injection. So I'm going to read for you guys a passage that references some of that. Jonas's father, wearing his nurturing uniform, entered the room, cradling a tiny new child wrapped in a soft blanket in his arms. A uniformed woman followed through the door, carrying a second new child wrapped in a similar blanket. "That's my father," Jonas found himself whispering, as if he might wake the little ones if he spoke aloud. "And the other nurturer is his assistant. She is still in training, but she'll be finished soon." The two nurturers unwrapped the blankets and laid the identical newborns on the bed. They were naked. Jonas could see that they were males. He watched, fascinated, as his father gently lifted one and then the other to the scale and weighed them. He heard his father laugh. "Good," his father said to the woman. "I thought for a moment that they might be both exactly the same. Then we'd have a problem. But this one," he handed, after rewrapping it to his assistant, "is 6 pounds even. So you can clean him up and dress him and take him over to the center." The woman took the new child and left through the door she had entered. Jonas watched his father bent over the squirming new child on the bed. "And you, little guy, you're only 5 pounds 10 ounces. A shrimp." "That's the special voice he uses with Gabriel," Jonas remarked, smiling. "Watch," the giver said. "Now he cleans him up and makes him comfy," Jonas told him. "He told me." "Be quiet, Jonas," the giver commanded in a strange voice. "Watch." Obediently, Jonas concentrated on the screen, waiting for what would happen next. He was especially curious about the ceremony part. His father turned and opened the cupboard. He took out a syringe and a small bottle. Very carefully, he inserted the needle into the bottle and began to fill the syringe with a clear liquid. Jonas winced sympathetically. He had forgotten that new children had to get shots. He hated shots himself, though. He knew they were necessary. To his surprise, his father began very carefully to direct the needle into the top of the new child's head, puncturing the place where the fragile skin pulsed. The newborn squirmed and wailed faintly. "Why is he—" "Shh," the giver said sharply. His father was talking, and Jonas realized he was hearing the answer to the question he had started to ask. Still in the special voice, his father was saying, I know it hurts, little guy, but I have to use a vein, and the veins in your arms are too teeny-weeny." He pushed the plunger very slowly, injecting the liquid into the scalp vein until the syringe was empty. "All done. That wasn't too bad, was it?" Jonas heard his father say cheerfully. He turned aside and dropped the syringe into a waste receptacle. "Now he cleans him up and makes him comfy," Jonas said to himself, aware that the giver didn't want to talk during the little ceremony. As he continued to watch, the new child, no longer crying, moved his arms and legs in a jerking motion. Then he went limp. His head fell to the side, his eyes half open. Then he was still. With an odd, shocked feeling, Jonas recognized the gestures and posture and expression. They were familiar. He had seen them before, but he couldn't remember where. Jonas stared at the screen, waiting for something to happen, but nothing did. The little twin lay motionless. His father was putting things away, folding the blanket, closing the cupboard. Once again, as he had on the playing field, he felt the choking sensation. Once again, he saw the face of the light-haired, bloodied soldier as life left his eyes. The memory came back. "He killed it! My father killed it!" Jonas said to himself, stunned at what he was realizing. That could be argued that it's, an controversial issue. However, children need to be exposed to this. It's a very powerful subject right now is lethal injection, and people and children are going to hear about it even if it's not directly told to them. They're going to hear about it in the news. And so even though this book has mature themes, I think it's a wonderful book and I love it. So I don't know why it's being banned or argued against, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed.